Ronnie bought that lumberyard up behind the elevators from, I think his name Jim Sager. And then he moved the store down to Cottonwood, down on Main Street there. That was, I think, Madison Lumber Company. And then Bill Ruoff added, and then Charlie Gertner and Herman Forsman made it into a place where they repaired cars and stuff like that. And that's when, then the next phase of it was when Miles Ronnie bought the place and made it into a lumberyard. He called that Gem Builder Supply, and the G was Galen, that was their son, and Evelyn was Miles Ronnick's wife, and then the M standed for Miles, hence the name Gem Builder Supply. And I was in partnership with him for 1 year with the option of buying, which is what happened.
So in 1995, Mike and I had worked at the prison for several years, and we decided we needed to do something different than what we were, and so we didn't want to leave the area, and so we decided to buy Gem Builders, and we bought it from Fred and Ellen Subert. I didn't have any background. Mike was in construction. He used to work for George Inniking, and then when he went to work at the prison, he was in charge of all the construction up there and stuff. And so when we were looking for something to do together, you know, he had a good background, and I said, you know, I'll just pay attention to what he's doing, and I'll learn from him, and that's kind of the way it went. So it's been a good partnership. I think pretty much all the customers are pretty outstanding. I mean, they've been, you know, we've had a loyal following, you know, here in Cottonwood and the surrounding areas and everything. The contractors are awesome. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of them have retired since we started, but, you know, we've still got some of the ones that we started with. So.
They are a good company to work with. They're performance oriented, they get things done. They are very knowledgeable about products and services, products that we need.
And if you ever had a problem, they would be the ones that would, you know, say, okay, well, Marv's doing this and he's got a problem, we better see if we can help him out here.
We try to, you know, get along with everybody that we can, and try to, you know, do what we can for the contractors, and you know, try to keep the prices as low as we can. You know, a small town and everything, you know, the service, I mean, trying to give them good service, you know, get material to them on time and stuff, and you know, just things like that. Mike was kind of running the office, and I would do the deliveries and stuff, so it was kind of a pretty good situation there. I had background driving truck. I'd done that for several years before, so it kind of worked for us. For him being in the office, he knew what he was talking about in there, and I could make the deliveries and stuff.
I went in there lots of times, and I'd be standing at the counter, and someone would come in that didn't know anything about carpenter work or painting or something like that, and they would pretty much guide them down the right, you know, the right track. And I could say, yeah, that should work. You know, I'd be saying that to myself. And then there was times when I'd come in there and they'd say, well, Marv, this person come in with this problem, what do you think? And so I would tell them, and, you know, we formed a pretty good relationship there.
For me, I'm kind of a do-it-yourselfer, so they're more than happy to help out with that too. Mike in particular has got very extensive knowledge in construction, so he steers me in the right direction, and Steve brings me the materials.
It's really been good as the lumber industry's changed over the years, that the quality of lumbers went down. So Mike, especially Mike, but Mike and Steve both as partners, they went on the track that they were going to buy just first quality materials, not necessarily the product that you'd get at other building supplies. And you know, we've been super happy with that too. So we've enjoyed working with them a lot.
I think it was about 10 years ago that we built the building, the main building that we're in, where the office is, and probably about 13 years ago that we built the main lumber shed and everything. You know, we didn't really have any room to keep materials other than outside, and so if you couldn't get them inside, you were in pretty tough shape there. So you know, that's the reason we rebuilt the buildings and everything. So.
And as time went on, of course, they grew. Gem Builders became a lot bigger. The internet came along. Mike was pretty good on that, and Steve both. So if you needed something, they could find it.
We started in 1995. We've been doing this for 27 years. And it's just time for both of us to step aside and let somebody else come in and take it over. Yeah, we just recently sold it, the business to Cameron Kilmer and Noelle Uhlencott, and Noelle's my granddaughter.
I wanted to help Steve and Mike get into retirement, and I wanted to secure our lives here together.
When we were kids, Grandpa would always be working over at Gem Builders, and so we'd walk across the street over to see him, and he'd give us the little dum-dum suckers, which was always so neat and so special. And just now, like growing up and seeing it in a different light, he's just built such like a legacy, and it's just so important to our whole family, and everything that he's done is really neat, and Mike as well, both of them.
And all of our employees that are here, they're all going to continue on. Cameron wants to keep them because they're pretty well trained. So it's going to be kind of mixed feelings about retiring, because you know, like I said, I enjoy working here with customers. You know, you kind of look back at where we started and where we're at, and
They both deserve a good retirement, and I wish them the best, because you know, that's what you work for your whole life, and they did put in a lot of hard work and stuff for the community. And so I think, you know, as far as retiring goes, I wish them the greatest.
I'm glad Mike and Steve are out there looking for, looking at their retirement years, especially Steve, but I don't know if Mike will feel good about sitting around that much. So Mike, you can always get a job here. We got a broom for you.
I wish him well, and I'm especially happy for Steve, because I knew him when he first came to town and knew what he did for a living. He's been a great friend to our family all the way through, and helped my dad especially. So we're highly appreciative of that, and it's time for him to take a break, do something fun. So good luck, guys.
Thanks, Mike and Steve, for everything you guys are doing for us, and don't worry, we'll take care of your baby and make sure it survives and carries on for generations.
Oh, yeah, I wish them, they've done a real good job there, I tell you. Yeah.